Boardwalk. The admission is free and the boardwalk is open daily. 78 degrees. It's warming up in the Bay Area. Not a cloud in the sky. So Sunday afternoon baseball on a beautiful day in Oakland. The A's and the Indians. A's have taken the field, so let's take a look at the Cleveland Indians lineup for today. It's brought to you by McDonald's. Michael Brantley will lead off. Jamie Carroll at second. Asdrubal Cabrera is the shortstop. Shin-Soo Choo in right. Johnny Peralta at third. Travis after the DH minutes. Matt Laporta, Trevor Crow, and Wyatt Torregas is the catcher. Defensively for the Athletics, Hairston, Davis, and Sweeney in the outfield. Kennedy, Pennington, Ellis, Barton on the infield. Kurt Suzuki catches. Dana Evelyn, who will be making his 7th start here in 2009.
Got another great opportunity for Dana Evelyn as he was with the club to start the season. Was sent back to AAA, came back again, and on September the 1st came back for the 3rd time. So he's getting the chance today because Brett Tomko not able to make the start after the shutout against the Rangers on Monday. So Dana Evelyn trying to finish the season on a positive note. He might get a chance depending on what happens with Tomko. And, of course, Ben Mazzaro is out. So I may see him getting this start and maybe another or two, depending what the A's decide to do.
So Dana Evelyn is ready. Michael Brantley steps in the box. So game number 149 for the A's. 13 left after today. First pitch from Evelyn is a bit high.
It's great incentive for Dana Evelyn also, considering the way the A's have been pitching and they've given up so few runs this past week on a 6-game winning streak. They'd just like to continue that this afternoon and fit right in.
Strike down around the knees. 1-1 to Brantley. Two and 1 to Michael Brantley. 314, no home runs, and 7 RBIs.
It's amazing how Tom Hamilton, the radio voice of the Cleveland Indians, is able to shift gears and go over and do radio and baseball after watching the Packers.
I know. Brantley loops one into left field, and it's a leadoff single for Michael Brantley. Now the A's looking for their 7th win in a row. And during the 6-game streak, they've really pretty much dominated. Lots of offense, good defense, great pitching. So maybe we shouldn't be surprised that they've won 6 in a row. They're just playing very, very good, solid baseball. Brantley aboard for Jamie Carroll. There's a strike to Carroll. 287 with a couple homers and 25 RBIs. The A's overall 70 and 78. Also won 8 out of their last 9, and they are now over 500 at home. 37 and 36. No matter what happens today, the A's will win the season series against the Indians. The A's have won 4 of the 6 played.
But I think from the A's standpoint, they want to get greedy.
Yeah.
6-game winning streak and just 8 games under 500, and it's not out of their own possibility to finish season 500. And considering where they were, to have this kind of a run, that would be very positive going into the offseason.
The fact that we're talking about it makes it.
Well, nice to hear too when you talk to other teams and they say, "Boy, the A's are really playing good baseball." And of course, I believe that players and managers and coaches realize that. Sure, you're playing good baseball in September when you're out of contention, but still they also look at the players, the type of players that they are facing as the opposition, and seeing a good pitching staff and good young players, and know that that's the kind of the way the organization has been.
Pennington will flip to second and get the out there. So Carroll's aboard on the fielder's choice.
But Pennington, with his momentum going towards the plate, just had to scoop it and throw it over underhand to Markell. Nice stretch by Ellie to make sure of getting just the one out. See different ways that players, a shortstop might make that play, but especially with the momentum going towards the plate. That's about all Pennington could do.
So one out for Asdrubal Cabrera. Cabrera, the everyday shortstop for the Indians, but was not in the lineup on Thursday and Friday. Was back in there yesterday. But a good year, 305, 6 homers, and 63 runs batted in. And that one hit foul down the first base line. The Indians come in 61 and 87, and they are scuffling big time. They've lost 7 in a row. They've lost 16 out of their last 19. So they are limping toward the finish line. After this game today, they will go home for a 9-game homestand and then finish with a 4-game series at Fenway Park. And then
that's a great way to
sure, great.
Well, that's some incentive. You know, who knows by then? Maybe over the wild card to the Red Sox, and may just be getting ready for their postseason run. But the Indians know that if they're playing the Red Sox and they still are, or at least have not decided a playoff berth, that they will have to play their best 9.
Yep.
Every day.
Every day. As it should be.
Oh, what a jump.
And indeed, as Carroll almost looked like Evelyn didn't even look over there as Carroll easily steals the base.
It's always surprising, amazing to me that with a lefty, that even though you don't get the sign to throw over or to step, when you see him take off, you've got to be able to make the change and throw. Craig Breslow does a good job on the A staff on the left side to be able to make that change when he sees the guy going.
The 1-2, and a dribbled foul. So 1-2 to Cabrera with Shin-Soo Choo waiting in the on-deck circle. Dribbled foul. Looking at some of the numbers record-wise on the Indians, they are 11 and 20 against the AL West. So the trips out west have not been good to the Indians.
I can say that when I played for the Tribe in the mid-'70s, we'd say the same thing.
Left field, Hairston over, and he's got it, and that's the second out. Well, folks, if you're looking for Raiders postgame live, it is airing right now on Comcast Sportsnet Plus, which can be found on Comcast Digital Cable Channel 410 and DirecTV Channel 697. If you can't find Comcast Sportsnet Plus, log on to ComcastSportsnet.com or call your local cable operator. So that's Raiders postgame live just getting underway. The Raiders with a win today in Kansas City. First pitch to Shin-Soo Choo, swing and a miss. Choo, 302 with 16 homers and 78 runs batted in. He and Johnny Peralta both with 78 runs batted in to lead the team. And again to left field, and Hairston's there, and he's got it. So a leadoff single by the Indians, but nothing else. So no score, bottom of the first. Let's check in with Damon Andrews on Comcast Sportsnet Plus. Cust, Ellis, Barton, Hairston, and Pennington. Defensively for the Indians, Crow, Brantley, and Chu in the outfield. Peralta, Cabrera, Carroll, Laporta on the infield. Taragas is the catcher. Fausto Carmona is the pitcher. So Kennedy steps in, 288 with 10 homers and 56 runs batted in.
And well rested. 2 days off as the Tribe went back-to-back left-handers Friday night, yesterday afternoon. Ryan Sweeney also both days off. He's back in the lineup.
That one hit to center. Brantley comes in and he's got it.
Now, Fausto Carmona, a couple of years remaining on a long-term contract that he signed with the Cleveland Indians. And when he signed it, he and CC Sabathia neck and neck. But this year, hard to believe, 3-11 with a 6.58 earned run average. Last 4 starts, 10+ ERA, 0-3. Still very good pitches, fastball, mid-90s, good slider, cutter, changeup. Last pitch against the A's last year and beat them 6-3. That was here at the Coliseum.
0-2 to Rajay Davis. Now there's an entire organization, the Cleveland Indians, scratching their head about Fausto Carmona. He's still a young man. I mean, there's still a chance for him to turn this thing around. He's only 25 years old. In 2007, Ray, 19-8 with a 3.06 ERA, 215 innings pitched. And I mean, we saw him. It was like, oh, this kid's going to be good.
Exactly.
Good hard sinker, but then struggles last year.
I actually sent him to the minor leagues.
Yeah.
Struggling so badly. It's a good cutter there.
Right center. Chu, the right fielder, comes over to make the play. Just a terrific season in 07.
Good stuff. Jack Cust got it. Mark Ellis. I mean, it's just hard to believe that someone could change that quickly. But like you said, he's young and still a lot of hope that he could be the mainstay in the staff.
And what makes the situation even more glaring is that they gave him a long-term contract. He has a contract that runs through 2011 with club options for 12, 13, and 14. That's the years, not the millions of dollars. So you throw that all on top of everything, and the Indians desperately need him to straighten this thing out because he's not going anywhere. Left center hit pretty well. Crow back, still going back near the wall, and he's got it. Side retired. So we head to the second inning from the Coliseum. No score, A's and Indians. Has digital cable channel 410 and DirecTV channel 697. Can't find Comcast Sportsnet Plus? Log on to ComcastSportsnet.com or call your local cable operator.
Or stay right here and watch A's baseball. A's going for their 7th in a row in high definition. And just beautiful day for baseball here at the Coliseum. Probably a little warm down there, but as we saw FP down in his long sleeve, looking nice for pregame, getting that, and get ready for postgame. They would put heavy jackets on by that time.
Johnny Peralta leading it off. Peralta, Hafner, and Laporta. Peralta 266 with 11 homers and 78 runs batted in. Indians got a leadoff single from Brantley in the first inning, but could not get anything against Dana Evelyn. Swing and a miss. So we talked about Dana Evelyn, right, during the pregame show. And if there's ever been a guy who's got more incentive right now, I'd like to find him. Because Dana Evelyn, let's face it, he has slid down the A's radar. I don't think that's any secret. When you think about where he was last year to where he is now, and the young pitchers that have moved ahead of him in the pecking order.
Yeah, looking at 3 or 4 of them right there.
Yeah.
They've done a very good job this year.
Ooh, good pitch there on the inside corner. Peralta strikes out. So first strikeout for Evelyn.
Looked like he had a little cutting action going inside, but
Designated hitter, number 48.
Suzuki holding the ball for Campos. Tommy Cam shows it right on the corner.
So 1 out for Hafner. And I don't think we're, Angel Campos, I don't think we're telling Dana Evelyn anything that he doesn't know.
Well, he's had to go to an opportunity that he had last year and continues now, and it's going to mean a lot for him in this last couple of weeks, depending how many starts he gets.
The last start for Evelyn was July 7th. If you remember, that's when Dallas Braden went on the bereavement list, and they called Dana Evelyn up to make the start. He got knocked around at Fenway. 6 hits, 3 walks, and 4 runs in 2 2/3 innings. He went back to Sacramento after the game.
Coincidentally, it was last year at Fenway Park where he had a tough outing and went back to AAA, changed his mechanics to where he had been going over the top of his head, just kind of an exact opposite of what Brett Tomko, who had been taking the glove up to his chest and head, and now he takes his over the top, over his head. Dana Evelyn changed in Sacramento to eliminate that, and he was now back over the top because he said he was losing the target.
Pop-up that's going to reach the seats just behind the A's dugout.
I didn't even move.
He did not move. Made the play. Handed it over.
And on this football Sunday, these are real baseball fans here.
Got it. Little basket catch.
Yeah. Didn't even have flip-down sunglasses, just had the regular shades, and didn't need to shade his eyes with his hand.
Mark Ellis charges. He was playing back on the outfield grass. A little shift on for Hafner, but Ellis takes care of it. 2 outs.
Batting in the 7th position, first baseman, number 7, Matt Laporta.
So Matt Laporta will hit with 2 outs. They're getting our first look at Laporta. Heard a lot about him. First look in this series. He's 3 for 11, a couple of walks, a double. Looking at the schedule, Ray, next year, the A's will go to Cleveland twice next year. Indians will come here once.
A's will be in Cleveland July and August. The Tribe, very happy to be coming to Oakland in mid-April. They will be in Minneapolis also in April.
Yeah, what a surprise, huh?
They're in the Central Division along with the Twins, so they'll be one of their first visiting teams into the outdoor stadium.
You know, I saw who the Twins open up with, but I can't remember who it was.
They have a couple of exhibitions with St. Louis.
Yeah, and then
they started. I can't remember who it is.
I did see the Red Sox. Red Sox. All right. 2-1 to Matt Laporta. That one's lined down the left field line, and that will be fair. Hairston cuts it off, and then it rolls past him. And Laporta will be at second base. So it is a double for Matt Laporta.
And a good pickup by the Indian to get Laporta from the Milwaukee Brewers. The Brewers, of course, last year ended up getting CC Sabathia, and they were willing to give up this young man, a very high-rated prospect in the Brewers organization, and the A's, or the Indians, very happy to put him back at first base. They have a Prince Fielder playing first base.
He's pretty good.
So it's a little outfield, but first base was Ryan Garco traded. It's Victor Martinez, who was playing some first base, is no longer with the Tribe.
Here's Trevor Crow, a switch hitter. Another guy that we're seeing really for the first time.
Drafted originally by the Athletics in 2002 and decided not to sign, and became a #1 choice of the Tribe.
3 hits in the series, 3 for 11, a triple with a couple of RBIs for Crow. Nobody holding Laporta on, so he'll be able to get a good jump with 2 outs, and the ball's rolled foul.
I want to thank for the A's, of course, having won the first 3 games of the series on a 6-game winning streak, and I'd be very happy the way the A's played, of course, against the Rangers, but bringing that same enthusiasm and play against the Indians, a different type of club than what the A's faced in Arlington. The Rangers still believing they can do something in the division. Although they lost this afternoon to the Angels, so that drops them even farther behind the Angels.
Fly ball, shallow right field. Sweeney comes in. He's got it. And the 2-out double by Laporta does no damage to the A's. Bottom of the second coming up. Kurt Suzuki will lead it off.
TBS. The excitement begins on October the 7th with the Division Series on TBS. Postseason baseball.
How about that?
Starts in a couple of weeks, 2 weeks from today. The regular season ends for 22 teams. 3 division winners from each league and a wild card. Totaling 8, and there will be 1 world champion when it's all over. We'll be talking about it in spring training.
Yep.
In late February, early March.
Phillies won it last year. Kurt Suzuki, 271 with 14 home runs and 79 runs batted in. Home run yesterday for Kurt.
Sorry.
42 RBIs last year.
Yeah. I know.
79 this year. That is something.
And he is going to be the first catcher since 1944 to lead his team in A's franchise history, to lead the team in RBIs.
Foul territory and out of play.
Another great catch. We got some highlight reels in the stands today. Don't even have to worry about it on the field.
Suzuki will be followed by Cust and then Ellis here in the bottom of the second. And that gets Kurt Suzuki. Not only did it run inside, but it actually went behind him, I think. I think it hit his back elbow,
Yeah,
Ray.
that's what he was moving his right elbow, his right arm. Inside target, and it just kept going. And oh, wow. You're right. He tried to pull his elbow back to get out of the way, but it went behind him. I didn't want to listen to it.
You don't see that very
No,
often.
you expect maybe to get it in the back, but not in the elbow. Watch the right elbow as it goes behind him, and there's the ball following as he tried to avoid being hit. And not the greatest place to get hit if you're a catcher and you throw right-handed. But oh, what a shock. They're leaving him quickly. He will not come out of many games. It will take a lot.
Well, plus it's not just where it hits you, but it goes right down the arm into your fingers when it's near the elbow.
The old crazy bone. And of course, the one thing that we have been fortunate since Jason Kendall came over from Milwaukee, or from Pittsburgh, ends up in Milwaukee now, but saw him play every day and upset when he was out of the lineup, and we're seeing it also with Kurt Suzuki. And it's just the second full season for Kurt, so we'll get a lot of opportunities to see him continue to excel at the catching position.
Cust takes a strike on the outside corner. 235 for Cust, 22 and 62. He's got 2 hits off Carmona in his career, both home runs. Takes a little off that one, does Carmona, and it floats outside. Ray mentioned the score, Angels 10, Texas 5. That's a final. So, time of year where magic numbers are becoming very important. It's a good day for the Angels. So their magic number is now 7 in the AL West.
So if you look at the schedule, those two teams play today. The Rangers come in here for 4, and then the A's go to Anaheim next weekend. So probably could be seeing something. The A's could help the Angels.
Yeah.
Somewhat with the, depending how they play against the Rangers, who are en route right now to the Bay Area. The Rangers did actually score runs last night and beat the Angels, and scored 5 more today in a losing effort.
Did you see the game last night? It was 3-2. Top of the 9th inning. Texas leading, and the Angels had the bases loaded and 1 out, and Frank Francisco fell behind Howie Kendrick 2-0, and he showed the people in the stands, and they were like, And he got him to ground into a double play. And that was the ball game. So Angels made it interesting. That was last night. Today, 10-5 is the final.
And the reason that game is being posted so early is because the Cowboys are playing tonight. That game was started at noon, as it's 3:30 and 3:37 in Texas, and I think they started at noon to get out of there before the Cowboys started.
Cuss with a base hit to right field. 2 on, nobody out for the A's here in the second inning. Mark Ellis will step in.
Well, after seeing a player hit, it's tough to kind of stay in, especially as badly as Carmona was to Kurt Suzuki. But Jack Cuss stayed very still on a 3-2 fastball and a little top spin and hitting it in front of the right fielder, Chu. And Jack also with a couple of days off. For the last 2 days with the left-hander pitching, it's predominantly right-handers with the exception of Derek Barton, a lone lefty in the lineup. So back to the righties today, mostly.
Ellis to bunt, and he drops it foul. But when Carmona was good back in 2007, this is where he showed it, because he had such a great sinking fastball with so much velocity. He could get double plays almost whenever he needed it. But he also had much better control then, and the control is just something that is kind of left him. Suzuki at second, Cust at first, and there's the hard sinker, 95 miles an hour, down and into Ellis. 0-2. Indians play Ellis straight away in the outfield and shallow. And he pops it up. Racing back is Carroll, still going back. He's not going to get it. It drops. Suzuki holds at third. So the A's have the bases loaded, nobody out against Carmona here in the second.
Well, Kurt Suzuki read it perfectly, but still they converged. The outfielders got to the ball quickly enough that Mike Gallego had to hold up Suzuki, but he took off. As soon as Mark Ellis hit the ball, he knew where the infielders were, how deep the outfielders were, and at that point took off. Jack Cust had to hold up and did, but Chu with a strong arm, nobody out. Mike Gallego forced to hold Suzuki at third.
So Derek Barton steps in. Barton 2 for 9 in the series, couple of walks. First pitch in for a strike. Scott Hairston in the on-deck circle. He's trying to take the lead. Did you read the note on the A's winning streak? During the winning streak, which is at 6 games, they have never trailed.
That's the way you like to go in the postseason.
Yeah.
Same way. Well, here's an opportunity to once again take an early lead.
Oh, 0-2 to Barton. That one runs away. 1-2.
There's one part of the game that the A's probably could improve, and a lot of it has to do with young players, is that runner at third, less than 2 outs. Try to get him in, and Friday night's 2-1 win by the A's. At 5 times he had runner at third, less than 2 outs, and 5 times he was left stranded. It's a lot of gift runs.
I guess sometimes you should always remember you have the pitcher in trouble.
Yeah.
The pressure is on him.
But if he's just wild enough, maybe the pressure's on the hitter to avoid getting hit.
Suzuki, Costello, the runners. 2-2 to Barton. And he hits one high to left center. Brantley settles underneath it. The runners are tagging. Kurt Suzuki will come in to score. Everybody else stays put, and it's a sacrifice fly for Derek Barton. So he does the job. Has a good at-bat against the guy with a good sinker. So give Barton some credit. Well, it is lead 1-0.
And any time you see in this case, a left-handed hitter hit the ball to the opposite field to drive in the run and the sac fly, he's staying on the ball, not rolling over. Carmona threw the sinker, hoping that it would sink a little bit more and Derek would hit on top of the ball for a possible double play. That was not the case, and the A's, well, they take the lead again.
So Scott Hairston steps in, try to extend that 1-0 lead. Hairston 231 with 7 homers and 34 runs batted in. Those are the numbers with the Athletics. A hit and an RBI in this series for Hairston, hitting down in the order, 8th today. Another ball, shallow right center field, and it'll fall. Cuz stops at third, and the A's again have the bases loaded. Carmona has that look like, are you kidding me? A couple of balls, one by Ellis, one by Hairston, landing in just about the same spot.
Hit exactly the same way. Carmona figured, got it out. Have to wonder if one of the outfielders too, somebody's breaking back, because it's not like the ball is just a little bit of a humpback liner. It's staying up in the air quite a while.
Exactly. So Cliff Pennington will hit after the meeting on the mound comes to an end.
Batting in the ninth position, shortstop, number 26, Cliff Pennington.
Pennington just gets a piece. Pennington 289 with 4 homers and 15 runs batted in. It's 3 for 9 in the series. I think Cliff Pennington's going to go home when the season's over and sit back and go, the last 2 months was fun. I played every day in the big leagues and played well, both offensively and defensively.
And he'll work extremely hard in the offseason. Bob Alejo will give him a nice program to stay in condition and be ready to go next spring. And to be here very quickly.
Close pitch taken by Pennington for a ball. Another shallow pop up to the outfield, and it's going to be Crow, and he missed it. 1 run will score. Everybody else moves up. Trevor Crow just missed it. Cabrera, the shortstop, went back there as well, and that may have caused a little bit of a situation for Crow, but it was a ball that was his, and he should have caught it.
It looked like Cabrera went out, and it was called off by Crow. Was there, but then the sun got him. You see him put his glove up to block the sun, but then he took it down. He lost it. That's when he lost it. Fought the sun, and boy, you have to keep your glove up as long as possible. And it might have been easier for Cabrera with his angle Probably could have seen the ball better.
Who'd they give the air to?
6?
That's not right.
No.
It's not an. It may be an error, but it's not an error on the shortstop. The ruling right now is E6. I'm going to leave the 6 off my scorecard. How about that?
Oh, they gave him there because he ran out of the way.
That's terrible. Either way, the A's with a pair of runs in and looking for more. Kennedy, another shallow fly ball. Crow coming in, and he can't get it.
Wow.
Run comes in to score. So Adam Kennedy with a base hit.
Well, hitting it just enough towards the end of the bat to not drive it. Bradley no chance. Diving effort by Crow. He couldn't get to it. At least he could see this one, but came up short. Wow. Did they change it yet? B.I., go tell him. Tell him that was the left fielder that missed the ball.
And the bases are still loaded for Rajai Davis. Only one out. You know what this is, Ray? This is a team that's won 6 in a row,
yeah,
and a team that's lost 7 in a row. And that doesn't mean that the A's have been lucky. It's just everything's fallen in. But you know what? When the bases are loaded, got a guy in third, try to get him in, put it in play.
Yeah, exactly.
This is what could happen.
He hit Suzuki. Cust hit his ball hard, and then Ellis, Hairston, Pennington, Kennedy. All bloops. One an error by the phantom shortstop,
Trevor Crow. I swear that when the lineup card came out, Crow was playing left field.
Yeah, I don't think he's ever played short.
Till today. Till this inning.
Since the ball was in the air, cannot give an RBI to Pennington because ground ball, you can't assume a double play. Fly ball shallow.
That's into right field for a base hit. 1 run scores. That'll be Hairston. Pennington is held up at third. And it's 4-0, and the bases are still loaded. Rajai Davis knocks in a run.
You ever see those the pinball baseball machines? You kind of go station to station. That's what's happened in this inning. Rajai Davis continues with a ball hit to right field. Mark Gallego with 1 out and respecting the arm of Chu in right field. So the A's just keep on moving. It looks like to me that's a bunch of teammates saying, Zook, he took one in the elbow for the team. We're going to make him pay. May not be hit hard, but we're going to make him pay.
Mike Gosling, no surprise, the Indians get somebody up. The only out recorded in this game, or in this inning, excuse me, was Derek Barton's sacrifice fly. There's a strike to swing.
Yeah, one guy that really enjoys watching Carmona is Edgar Gonzalez. You watch Carmona, the way he kind of flips his arm, similar to Edgar. Got a lot of movement, especially kind of the recoil, no doubles. Woo! Smooth it out, big boy.
That's low, 1-2. 5 hits, a hit batter, and an error, all here in the second inning. 1-2 pitch to Sweeney. And that's low, 2-2.
Carmona threw 9 pitches in the first inning. He has now a total of 44. Jeremy Sowers yesterday threw just 45 pitches, or threw 45 in just an inning plus.
Bounce back to Carmona off his glove. The throw to first just in time by the shortstop Cabrera. Run comes in to score. So gives Sweeney the RBI ground out, and it's 5-0.
Well, Carmona almost caused his own problem by deflecting the ball. Fortunately, it deflected hard enough to Cabrera, who changed direction and showed his outstanding shortstop ability. That's an excellent play, especially if he was going one direction and try to field the ball and then had to change.
So Suzuki hits with second and third and 2 outs. 10th man to hit in this inning. A shot right at Jamie Carroll, who backhands it on one hop. Side retired. A's score 5 times. So we head to the third. A's 5, Indians nothing. Third inning, the A's with a 5-0 lead. Gorgeous afternoon. Lots of sunshine.
You know, you come to the park and the old saying that goes, you learn something every day. You might see something that you've never seen before.
You may not always agree with it, though.
And we kept waiting for this change of a call. It never came, and I got an explanation. I've never heard it in my life. But
who'd you get the explanation?
The official scorer, Michael Duca. He is official scorer. He is.
What did he say?
Today.
This was the play.
This is the play. Now watch this play. Cabrera's calling him, and then he abandoned him. He called and called. Now Crow, at the end, called for the play. But yes, the ruling was that Cabrera went after the ball, called for it, and then at the last instant abandoned the play. Crow had to take it and miss the ball. So the shortstop gets the error because he abandoned him. You can't abandon somebody.
But he's not the player who missed the ball.
Thank you. And plus you can see, and the only reason Cabrera he called him now. Why does he move out of the way? Because Crow's calling him off. Yeah, that's the only reason he abandoned him.
Yeah, even if he did call him off and abandon him, it doesn't matter. He wasn't the player who missed the ball.
Exactly. That I've never heard That's a new one. Gosh. Whew.
Well,
he explained it. He said, this is the reason I gave him the air. So that's his explanation.
Wyatt Taragas is the hitter. And Wyatt Taragas is going to take a seat. So that's the second strikeout for Dana Evelyn.
Well, the A's yesterday with 4 runs in the second and 5 today in the second.
Number 23.
And a good fastball inside corner. Taragas, I guess, thought it was a little bit low.
So top of the order in Michael Brantley. Brantley led off the ball game with a base hit. He was later forced at second.
Really, in fairness to both Crow and Cabrera, the one thing the official scorers should do is go down and ask. You know, you can't give an error to somebody based on what you assume, but you know, go down and ask. Said, you call him off? Yeah, I did. Okay, give you the error. But when he called him off, he lost it in the sun.
Curve stays inside to Brantley. 2-1 the count. Two and two. There's a line drive just foul past Jerry Davis, the first base umpire. Jamie Carroll in the on-deck circle. Brantley has worked the count full. The pitch effects on the left, top of the left side of the screen tell us that pitch was indeed a little off the plate. Line drive to the gap in left center field. Brantley with great speed heads to second, and he will stop there. So Michael Brantley is 2 for 2, a single and a double.
It's a case of a hitter taking advantage of the situation, 3-2, and with the club trailing 5-0, just a nice easy swing. It's a fastball outside part of the plate and hits it exactly where it's pitched. So very good job. Evelyn throwing a strike, but also Brantley. There are times that certain hitters would try to pull a pitch like that, and he just went with it nicely.
First pitch to Jamie Carroll. He's a bit high. Carroll bounced into a fielder's choice in the first. He later stole a base, but was stranded at second. 2 for 14 in the series for Jamie Carroll. Well, a lot of people felt like spring training was too long this year. Jamie Carroll is one of those guys. His final at-bat of an exhibition game, the 4th of April, the day before the season started. Final at-bat. Got hit by a pitch, broke his left hand. He probably wished he just would have asked for the day off. 2-1 to Carroll. One off the end of the bat, rolled foul. Luis Rivera is the first base coach for the Cleveland Indians. This will be pitch number 54 for Dana Evelyn. And it's popped up. Foul territory. Barton racing over, and he's going to get there. He's got it. 2 outs here in the top of the third.
Good sneaking item on our fastball, and again, sometimes the hitter will shorten up with a couple of strikes. So if you throw a fastball, in this case, he was not able to pull the ball or even hit it into fair territory.
As Drupal Cabrera steps in. Cabrera is a switch hitter. Curveball stays just a bit outside. Cabrera pretty good from both sides. 297 as a right-handed hitter, 308 as a left-handed hitter. Fouled at the plate. Outfielder's shallow. They're going to take a couple steps in and see if they got a play at the plate on Brantley, but they won't need to worry about that as Cabrera grounds out to short, and the side is retired. Indians leave a runner. We're headed to the bottom of the third. 5-0 A's.
Today, first pitch 105, 10,000 fans will receive a limited edition A's baseball hat. It's brought to you by Verizon Wireless. Get tickets online, OaklandAthletics.com, or call 877-493-BALL.
Jack Cust leading it off. Cust hits one very high, and it's going to drift into the seats. First row, and another nice play by a fan. He had a beat on it the whole way. First row, behind the bullpen. No problem.
He had a glove. The other two made it barehanded.
He may get another one. Heads up. Not quite. So 1-2 the count to Cust. His base hit in the second inning, a line drive to right field, and he would later score a run.
And just another example in the A's second inning of how they just bunched together a bunch of singles to score the runs. Up with an error and a hit batter, but just taking the hits at a 5 spot. That's a big crooked number to put on the board.
Toward Laporta at first. He steps on the bag. And that's the first out in the bottom of the third.
Now batting, number 14, Mark Ellis, second base.
So Mark Ellis will hit. Mark dropped a single into shallow right center field in the second inning. This was the record-breaking home run for Mark Ellis.
First inning, second batter, 1-0 fastball, and two very good second basemen, Dick Green, Mark Ellis.
Mark Ellis now the franchise record holder for home runs by a second baseman, and again, that's not Oakland franchise history. That's A's franchise history, so we're going back a long way.
Well, you also think of the season Mark Ellis has had, and today he enters 274, 9 and 55, 9 home runs, 55 runs batted in, and he missed 60 days. Placed on the 60-day disabled list, so a third of the season. He's done it basically in 2/3 of a season. And he's only going to get better.
One and one to Derek Barton. Carmona had a 3-up, 3-down first inning, faced 10 hitters in the second. And he's looking for a 3-up, 3-down inning here in the third.
Time a pitcher has the amount of movement on the fastball that Carmona does, you just kind of harness it and figure out a way to throw it and keep it in the strike zone. Throw it in the strike zone as long as it's going down.
Like that.
Yep.
Is he a guy, we've talked about this before, right? If you're a catcher, maybe you set up in the middle of the plate.
Yeah, because that pitch, if the catcher sets up on the corner, it's a ball. It just runs so much, it runs out of the strike zone.
So I guess it would be like the pitcher, if you set up on the corner and it runs outside, the movement, your best asset is the movement, but it's hurting you.
Yeah, exactly, because it's moving too much.
Bounce toward third, and Peralta, tough hop, throws out Barton, and it is a 3-up, 3-down inning for Fausto Carmona. Fourth inning coming up. A's 5, Indians 0. So far, so good. They lead 5-0 over the Indians, top of the 4th inning. Shin-Soo Choo to lead it off. Dana Evelyn through the first 3 innings has allowed 3 hits, no walks, a couple of strikeouts. And he's got some runs to work with today. Oh, that big series in Minnesota where the Twins have won the first 2 games of that series to close the lead to just 2 over the Tigers. Well, the 3rd and final game of that series is getting close to being finished, and right now the Tigers are 3 outs away from a win. They lead 6-2 over the Twins, heading to the bottom of the 9th at the Metrodome. At this time of the season, win a game against the guy that's chasing you, and that's a 2-game swing, and that is huge. So we'll keep you updated on that game as, again, it goes to the bottom of the 9th.
Is it next weekend or the last weekend that 2 clubs go head to head?
It is.
They have what, 4
they
more?
They have 4 left, yeah.
Comerica Park.
What it is it's a week from tomorrow. It's a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday series in Detroit. So it's the final week of the season. Leadoff walk to Shin-Soo Choo. Let's check out our Subway Eat Fresh Ask Glenn and Ray question. You can log on to csncalifornia.com to post your question. Tina from Fresno asked, do you think this could be the year that Mark Ellis finally gets a Gold Glove? Wouldn't that be nice?
But we mentioned that he missed a third of the season. That might factor into it. He missed that many games, and it's unfortunate that he went on the 60-day deal when probably he didn't need to, but I'm sure their managers and coaches will look at that and say, well, although Rafael Palmeiro won the Gold Glove when he played about 7 games at first base 1 year with the Rangers. So we hope so. We believe he deserves it even before this year. Continues to play exceptional defense.
Some of the statistical numbers, which defensively is kind of hard to put into perspective, but just 3 errors for Mark Ellis, 2 errors for Polanco in the 137 games. So
there's a difference of the 40-some-odd games between Polanco and Ellis, and Pedroia has played 140, so there's 47.
And I would say, Ray, you know best, the first one is probably the hardest one to get.
Yeah.
Once you get the 1, well, then your name is in everybody's mind as the front runner.
Torrey Hunter finally made an error after a couple of years, but he's won 8 in a row, and what are the odds he would not win his 9th? He'll win it. Ichiro's going to win the outfield. So there's certain guys, and if you're an outfielder, it's tough, at least with 2 positions taken.
One pitch right at the knees, 3-2. Peralta struck out looking in the 2nd inning. Broken bat. Ellis a long ways to his left. He'll flip it, and they get Peralta. Peralta goes down hard. Let's hope he's okay, and he is. The bat went sailing between the mound and second base.
Now we talk about Mark Ellis. I mean, that's a very difficult play that he made look very easy. Hit very softly with a broken bat, and just to his left, a little flip underneath. Very underhand to get the ball over to Derek Barton in enough time. It's a very good play. And again, Peralta hitting the bag hard and tumbling.
And the ball's got a funky spin on it, too. Watch out, Dane. So Travis Hafner hits with 1 out. He takes a strike on the outside corner. And the Indians have had a base runner in every inning against Evelyn, but they have not been able to break through. Hafner grounded out to Ellis in the 2nd inning.
Dana Evelyn's doing a good job. The lefties keeping the ball away. Seeing a lot of foul balls over towards the A's dugout. And that is very good pitching if you can keep the ball away close enough to the strike zone that the hitters are offering. Not going to do much damage. Hafner, of course, has power go to the opposite field. Going to compare him in a sense to Jim Thome for so many years with the Indians and hitting the ball hard to left field.
And he grounds that one into left field for a base hit. Chu is being waved home. Hairston's throw to the plate is not quite in time as the ball squirts away from Suzuki. So Chu scores. Hafner has an RBI, and the Indians are on the board.
Well, they just took advantage of the pitches outside the slider and went with it. Pennington's playing normal position at shortstop. It had been out, but Hairston got the ball as Chu rounded the back. And a bang play. If Suzuki comes up with it, he might have been out. No, I think he got his foot across the plate anyway.
So Matt Laporta will hit. Hafner picks up his 43rd RBI of the year. It is just the 8th run that the Indians have scored in this series. Laporta hits one high to right field. Sweeney has it, and that's the 2nd out. Pretty good throw by Scott Hairston. In fact, you probably couldn't ask for a much better throw.
Yeah, I just think Chu, pretty good speed, as we've talked about Chu in this series, and he showed his speed, getting the foot in. Looked like the slide had his foot in enough time. And Evelyn, 74 pitches, just the 4th inning, and Jerry Blevins is loosening up. The A's with 11 relievers now.
I think so. At least. Trevor Crow, easy play for Ellis, and that will do it. A run for the Indians. Bottom of the 4th coming up, 5-1 Athletics. ends this month and order the Captain Sundae, and a portion of the proceeds will go to Ken's charity. The sundae features toasted almond and Swiss milk chocolate ice cream, a Rice Krispies treat that's nestled in the middle. It's topped with house-made fudge and caramel whipped cream, roasted almonds, and a cherry. We love Benton's Creamery in Oakland. More than just ice cream, though. Scott Hairston leading it off, and he takes a strike from Fausto Carmona.
What else do they have?
Everything. I'm serious. It's like a huge menu. Oh, yeah.
But you have to just go ask for the captain and you get ice cream, right?
Exactly. But you need to save a little bit after your meal because you have to finish it with ice cream.
Now batting.
Hairston is retired on the ground out to second. So Cliff Pennington will hit. Pennington reached on the air by the left fielder Crow in the second inning. That play knocked in a run, but Pennington not awarded an RBI. Strike on the outside corner, 1-1. That's a final now. The Tigers beat the Twins 6-2. So that breaks the Twins' 6-game winning streak, and that was a big win for Detroit.
Well, yesterday the Twins had about over 46,000 people on hand. That's what the Gophers playing. And of course the Vikings were playing where, in Detroit, or have they played yet?
They were in Detroit, yeah. We'll get the attendance from that game in Minnesota today in just a moment. But the Tigers, with that win now, a 3-game lead in the AL Central, and their magic number is 11. So they still got a little work to do.
But you're right, the difference of 1 or 3. Man. And the sweep did not happen. It's very hard to sweep a club. The A's trying to do it in back-to-back series. The Rangers in Arlington, the Indians here. But that series in Minneapolis, that's a very hard one to sweep.
Pennington fouls it back. So the Tigers now, after their win, they will have Monday off, and then they will be at these Cleveland Indians Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then at Chicago on the weekend. The Twins, on the other hand, they will start a 10-game road trip that goes Chicago, Kansas City, and then that game we mentioned earlier, that series, 4 in Detroit. So that is what's up next for Detroit and Minnesota. Pennington strikes out. That's the updated Central. The White Sox lost again, 2-1 the final today. They lost to Kansas City. So they drop a game back. So it will be the Tigers and the Twins, the two teams that we keep an eye on the rest of the way in that Central.
And it was 2006 when the Kansas City Royals swept the Tigers. Final weekend that put the Twins in the division. And the A's beat the Twins. They were hoping to get the Tigers because the Tigers weren't playing that well, and found out they know how to play baseball.
Kennedy, a line drive that's fair, right on the line, down the right field line. So Adam Kennedy will have a 2-out double here in the 4th.
Then he got a couple of days off, and things out just as strong today. Flew out to center in his first at bat, RBI single and a double. And he's the master of the doubles, especially hooking this one down the right field line, just inside the line, maybe on the chalk. Clearly a 2-out double, a chance for the A's to get on the board again. Kennedy has been outstanding for the A's.
26 doubles now for him. And Rajay Davis will step in. Bouncer to third. Big hop for Peralta. And he throws out. Davis side retired. So nothing for the A's except the 2-out double by Kennedy in the 4th. 5th inning coming up, 5-1 Athletics.
Wyatt.
Well, tonight at 6 o'clock, Sportsnet Central. It's over on our sister station, Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area, and it's presented by Burger King. It'll be a busy night on Sportsnet Central with football and baseball going on. Oh, a blast from your past, Ray, huh?
Dick in the house with the number 37 Cleveland Indians jersey.
Now, an A's fan may say, well, wait a minute. Whoa, X43. But that was his number when he was with the Tribe.
And he was good with the Tribe. There's the Boston, Chicago Cubs, and then here.
Jaragas hits one right off Evelyn, but then Evelyn hangs with it and gets the out. That could be the jersey that he wore when you caught his no-hitter.
It could be. Well,
maybe not that specific jersey.
That number jersey,
exactly.
Yes. Dana Evelyn off the right foot. Maybe the inside of the right foot. Hopefully got a lot of leather, not his ankle. Kurt Suzuki went out to double check. But at least that fan wearing X jersey in Cleveland, but an A's cap.
Yeah,
and that's
great.
He's in the Hall of Fame with an A's cap. A's logo as he became one of the premier closers in Major League Baseball, playing right here in Oakland. Grew up in Fremont. So the Eck. The Chief Wahoo, one of the most popular logos in all of sports. You always like that, don't you?
I love
Smiling Chief Wahoo.
He's always happy. Brantley's retired, and that's 2 outs here in the 5th.
Number 11, Jamie Carroll.
So Evelyn, this will be pitch number 80.
Still can't get loose, can he? From pitch number 1, he just...
It's the jersey. Now, we know that it's the jersey, but if you didn't know, you'd be afraid that his shoulder was hurting him.
But he's lifting his right arm. That's his non-throwing arm. And he will lift his left arm, right arm.
There it is.
Now left arm. No, it really has nothing to do with jersey. It's just something that he does. It just drives you a little bit like, why?
2-0 to Jamie Carroll. And now 3-0 as that one runs inside. There's Drupal Cabrera in the on-deck circle. Payoff pitch to Carroll is a striker. 3-0 pitch. I'm sorry. 3-0 pitches on the outside corner.
I wonder if Blevins is getting ready for Chu in this inning.
2 batters away.
He doesn't need to.
Well, I wouldn't put too many people on base if I were Dana Evelyn.
That's right.
And that 3-2 pitch is high to Carroll, and it's a 2-out walk. That's the second walk issued by Evelyn.
Number 13, Drupal Cabrera.
So Cabrera hits with a runner at first and 2 outs. Kurt Young is going to jog to the mound. So Kurt letting Dana Evelyn know that
there's a lefty.
A really good idea for you would be to get Cabrera.
Maybe not have to worry about what happens to the next batter. 85 pitches. Of course, Dana has been starting in AAA. He's been up here since September, and he's not pitched a lot.
Breaking pitch stays high to Cabrera. 0 for 2 today for Asdrubal Cabrera. 1 for 7 in the series. Hit hard. Pennington dives. He's got it. Flips to Ellis. Not in time. Sensational play by Cliff Pennington. He did everything he could to get the throw to Ellis, but Carroll was able to beat the throw.
Carroll runs too well, and he got to the bag very quickly. But what a play by Cliff Pennington. It's like he's going to rob Cabrera base hit. He just could not get the ball out of his glove initially, and slight hesitation was just enough right there. Couldn't get the grip. Mark Ellis kept his foot on the bag.
So here's Chu. Chu, a fly ball to left field, and then he walked leading off the 4th inning and came around to score on Hafner's RBI single. Swing and a miss. Chu got a slider, and it looked like it hung up there and was pretty hittable. He missed it.
Definitely a hanger, but sometimes you get away with them. Ball started at him just enough that it's away from him. He might have taken the ball to left field.
Hits it hard. Pennington handles it, flips it across, and the Indians do not score. They strand a pair. Bottom of the 5th coming up. It's the A's 5 and Cleveland 1. And Kevin Millwood, the pitching matchup in Game 1. Coverage begins at 6:30 with A's pregame live. It's all right here on Comcast Sportsnet California, where the A's are always on. Rangers lost today at home 10-5 to the Angels. Sweeney bounces one right side. Laporta has it, and that's the first out. So the Rangers will come in 7.5 games out of first place, and they will bring an 81-67 record into the Coliseum. Lackey beat Holland in that game. Ray, the attendance today in Minnesota, 36,335. Not too bad. Peralta takes care of Suzuki for the second out. All right, let's look at our Carl's Jr. in your face. And it's Jack Cust. Remember this? May 13th, 2007, a 3-run homer in the 9th inning. It was a game winner, and it was part of a 5-run bottom of the 9th. And it was all on Mother's Day. 2007.
Well, that was Jack Cust's first year, first month with the Athletics.
First couple weeks.
Yeah, joined the club in early May, and what a beginning in the big leagues for Jack, and he's still here, still hitting home runs. 22 this year.
A 1 to Cust, and that's just a bit inside. The Red Sox won today, 9-3 over the Orioles. So Boston's wild card lead is now 8. So I don't think there's any question the Red Sox are headed to postseason. Daisuke Matsusaka got the win today. Red Sox, are they hoping that he can come back and have a strong last couple weeks?
That's second for him since his return. Pitched well in his first game since returning from the DL.
Still question marks with Wakefield. Kind of looking for one more starter for the postseason. Cust strikes out. Second strikeout for Carmona, and it's a 3-up, 3-down, bottom of the 5th for the A's. We got a new pitcher for the Athletics. Jerry Blevins takes over for Dana Evelyn. So Evelyn goes 5 innings, throws 90 pitches. Gives up just the 1 run. A couple of walks, a couple of strikeouts for Dana Evelyn. So if the A's can hang on, Evelyn would get his 2nd win of the year. Face Peralta, Hafner, and Laporta. And it's 3-0 to Peralta, who's 0 for 2, a strikeout and a ground out in the ballgame. Peralta is 0 for 13 in the series. And there's a 4-pitch walk leading off the 6th. So Hafner will hit.
Only the 4th walk for Jerry Blevins, 10 strikeouts. As he has pitched well since joining the club on September 1st.
Travis Hafner.
Hafner had an RBI single in the 4th. Also grounded out to second.
Yesterday, Brad Kilby came in early, 4th inning, and picked up his first major league win. Matt Carson had a couple of hits, including his first major league hit to right field. It's a lot of first yesterday for the Athletics. So he has an abundance of lefties in the bullpen. Today it's Blevins pitching. It's Matt Carson, a couple of hits yesterday, and of course we saw him in his debut Friday. It looked like he was going to get a base hit, maybe a double, but it dropped, and so got him yesterday.
Let's take a look at it.
Absolutely. How about a base hit to right field? That's ball away. Get the ball. Maybe he had to share the lineup card, though, with Brad Kilby. Ty Waller had to make a duplicate of the lineup card. His first major league hit. Took him a while. A number of years before he got here.
Was it 8? Did I see 8 years in the minor leagues for Matt Carson? Two and 2 to Hafner. And now a full count. Matt Laporta is in the on-deck circle, a right-handed hitter. Good to see Travis Buck back in the big leagues. After gets jammed, little pop-up. Kennedy over there, and he makes a basket catch.
Is he unbelievable or what?
That is a very good play.
So much foul territory, and that's why opposing hitters do not like this park because of this. Any other park in baseball, they get a chance to hit again, but Kennedy near the warning track keeps his eye on it and watches it basket catch into his glove.
In Cleveland, Travis Hafner's going to get to see another pitch. Probably in any other ballpark in the big leagues, but not here in Oakland. Here's Laporta. But there are some ballparks that have a fair amount of room, foul territory, maybe in front of the dugouts. But here at the Coliseum, it's that the stands kind of keep going out for a way, so it's that area down by the bullpen that makes so much foul territory, or so much different maybe than most of the other ballparks. One and one to Laporta. Down the right field line, and that one is going to make the seats.
That's why after the Twins leave the Metrodome, go to the new park, Marlins to get their new one, and the A's, a multi-purpose stadium still.
Yep.
It's the big foul territory. You've got to have it for football. And you see where as the lines still show exactly where the end zone is.
They need every bit of it.
Yeah.
For, of course, some of the seats get moved around a little bit. That makes a difference. Laporta shoots one foul.
Pay a visit to the Coliseum on the October 5th, and you'll see Clay Wood in the midst of converting it to football for the remainder of the winter. Put grass where the dirt portion of the infield is. John Malone, the right-hander, just called up on Friday, is up in the A's bullpen.
Get him in there, right? Big job. So 1-2. Battle here between Blevins and Laporta, and this one is going to be playable. Sweeney looking up into the sun, but he's got it. So 2 outs. Brad Kilby, first major league win yesterday. He was good.
He was very good. The invisible ball, strikeout. How about another strikeout? And guess what? Another strikeout.
3 strikeouts in an inning and 2/3.
They call it the invisible because you can't see it. I mean, he wraps it a couple of times, but 3 strikeouts. He has been just unbelievable since he was called up. Kind of under the radar, if you will. If you look at this year, Tommy Everidge, Brad Kilby, a couple of guys that had not really heard that much about. But here they are in the big leagues, and we saw what Tommy Time did.
Well, you can also see why Sacramento River Cats had another great year. Came up a little bit short, did the River Cats. They lost the Pacific Coast League Championship Series to Memphis, but a good year nonetheless. Fouled straight back. But congratulations to the Midland Rockhounds, the A's AA affiliate. They won the Texas League Championship Series. And they did it with a win last night, 4-2 in extra innings. So they won the best of 5 series 3-1. So congratulations to Darren Bush, the manager, and the rest of the A's AA affiliate down in Midland. Two and 2 to Trevor Crow. And hit hard. Pennington dives. He cannot quite get it. And Rajay Davis is not going to be able to cut it off. It's going to go all the way to the wall. That's going to allow Peralta to come around and score. And Crow is going to get to third with a sliding triple. That ball got to the outfield and it really shot toward the gap. And Rajay Davis could not get over there.
We've seen balls here like that at the Metrodome or at Rogers Center where it's artificial surface. Gets through the infield, goes to the wall. You don't expect it on grass, but this ball hit very hard by Crow. Pennington, nice diving effort, but Rajay Davis shading him in right center. Tried to cut it off, but seen the ball just take off. He had to brace himself against the wall. In the meantime, Crow, another triple.
Second in the series for Crow. Here's Taragas, Wyatt Taragas. Goes around on the pitch. Taragas spent the season in AAA. Was an International League All-Star. Indians AAA team is in Columbus, so very close by, much like the A's and Sacramento. That one runs inside. Two and 2 now with Crow at third. Indians were down 5-0, but a single run in the fourth, a single run here in the sixth, and they're trying to get back in it. Hit very high, right center. Sweeney has it. Side retired. A run for the Indians. Bottom of the sixth coming up. 5-2 A's. Ellis to lead it off. Fausto Carmona back out there. He's only thrown 79 pitches. But he's trailing in the game. A's 5, Indians 2. Ellis, Barton, and Hairston against Carmona. The A's scored all 5 of their runs in the second inning. They got 5 hits. There was an error, a hit batter. Carmona has kept them quiet since then, but the damage was done. 1-1 the count. Ellis had a base hit in that second inning and scored. He also popped out to second. So Ellis 1 for 2 today, 5 for 13 in the series. One of those 5 runs in that second inning was unearned. Chu in right field has a beat on it. 1 out.
Now the A's hitting him too hard.
Yep. Carmona has retired 12 of the last 13 hitters.
Martin.
So Barton will step in. 0 for 1 with a sacrifice fly for Barton. So Barton in this series is 2 for 10.
And Derek talks about not being able to pick up the ball very well here at the Coliseum, and his numbers show it. A much better hitter on the road. Well, considering the A's play 81 games here and 81 on the road, it's a pretty good idea to figure out how to hit better here and pick up the ball. Pretty good hitter's eye, batter's eye in center field. I think as Derek and most hitters realize, when you hit a ball in the air, it might not carry as much as you expect it to. Kurt Suzuki's yesterday, he didn't think it hit it well enough to get out, but it did straightaway center.
The 3-1 pitch is a strike to fill up the count. The walk. That's the first walk issued by Carmona. He's got a couple of strikeouts.
Left fielder, number 12, Scott Hairston.
So Scott Hairston steps in. Hairston a single and a run scored in the second, a ground out in the fourth. Shot fair down the left field line. Crow into the corner to pick it up. Barton is being waved home. Throw to the plate is in time. What a play by Taragas, the catcher. So the relay was just about perfect. And the Indians cut down Derek Barton at the plate.
Like a catcher throwing to second base, putting the ball in the bag. That's exactly what Cabrera did. Down the line, hard. And Crow got to the ball very quickly, got it back into Cabrera. And it took a perfect throw, and all the catcher did is put his glove down, catch the ball, tag Barton. It was all at the same time. Barton running hard to third, being sent by Mike Gallego. Feet first slide. And a perfect throw and a perfect tag.
Pennington down the right field line. It is a fair ball. Up against the wall. Hairston will score. Pennington with a big 2-out RBI double. So the A's get the run, and it's 6-2. 16th RBI for Pennington.
Back-to-back pitches, doubles. One had a runner thrown out. This one, though, just inside the line, very close to being his 5th home run. Scoring easily from second was Scott Hairston, so back to a 4-run lead. It says Andrew Bailey T-shirt day. Don't you think it'd be appropriate for him to come in and save his 26th?
Yeah, I think it would be.
And then walk off the mound, tear open his jersey, and there's his T-shirt underneath.
That's a good idea. Couple of hits for Adam Kennedy today. So a couple of doubles in the inning. He's with 3 doubles in the game. Swing and a miss. Tony Sipp starts to loosen it up. Down the right field line, hit well, into the corner, it is gone. Kennedy homers. 8-2 Athletics.
Been a while for Adam Kennedy.
Yeah, 3 RBI afternoon for Kennedy.
August the 11th, his last home run at Baltimore. So it has been a while. He's just been hitting doubles and singles. But this time in a 2-strike pitch out in front of Carmona.
Number 11 for Kennedy. He's now got 59 RBIs. 2-0 to Rajay Davis.
Kennedy, very good hitter, and boy, he continues to show that. 1 away from 60 runs batted in, and he's picked him up in early May, so he's missed the first month in the big leagues.
Up the middle, Rajay Davis with a base hit. Davis is 2 for 4. Seems like he's 2 for 4 every game. And Carmona, 98 pitches. And he has run into trouble here in the 6th. And I think his time is done for the afternoon. Indeed, Tony Sipp is going to come in. So Fausto Carmona goes 5 2/3 in the game. He gives up 8 runs. So Carmona leaves. Pitching change. A's with an 8-2 lead. Still batting here in the 6th inning. Fausto Carmona, tough afternoon. So the young man is just unable to right the ship. Tony Sipp takes over. 42nd appearance for Sipp in a year where he has been back and forth between the big leagues and AAA 3 times. So the left-hander faces the left-handed hitting Sweeney. Davis is the runner at first. A's have scored 3 times. 2 of them coming on Adam Kennedy's home run here in the 6th inning.
And those 3 runs came after a great play by his defense, but yet Carmona could not get back to the dugout, trailing by 3 runs. The A's added 3, and all coming with 2 outs.
2-1. A's have 10 hits in the game. So another good offensive series by the Athletics. We've got 40 hits in the series. 23 runs scored in the series. Much to the delight of the hitting coach, Jim Scala. Left center, that's hit well. Crow racing back, still going back over his head, off the wall. Rajay Davis will race around third. He will score easily. Ryan Sweeney with a big RBI double, 9-2.
And once again, showing the great opposite field power. Ryan Sweeney. 3 doubles in Arlington, Texas, all to left center. This one, there's no doubt, left fielders against Sweeney have a tendency to play a little bit shallow. Slider stayed on it from Sipp. He likes to throw a lot of sliders, and Crow playing a little bit too shallow. Not able to reach up, although took a little bit of a different route.
So 2 RBIs for Sweeney in the game, and here's Kurt Suzuki. There's a strike to Suzuki in the outside corner. 3 doubles, a single, and a homer in the inning for the A's. Very high, down the left field line. Crow, a long run again, and he's not going to get it. Either is the shortstop, Asdrubal Cabrera. Kurt Suzuki behind in the count, 0-2. Kurt hit by a pitch and a couple of ground outs in the game. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Big inning for the A's. They score 4 times, 2 of them coming this swing of the bat from Adam Kennedy. 7th inning coming up. The A's 9 and the Indians 2. 8-2 over the Indians, going for the 4-game sweep and going for win number 7 in a row. Jerry Blevins back out on the mound. Blevins gave up a run in the 6th. He faces Brantley, Carroll, and Cabrera. Brantley is 2 for 3. Single and a double for the young man. 5 for 15 in the series, and A's, or the Indians people, will tell you that there's a pretty good chance Michael Brantley will be in their starting lineup next year as their leadoff hitter. Brantley aboard, so he's been on base 3 times. 4th walk issued by A's pitchers tonight.
Number 11.
Today.
Well, the Tribe would be happy to get Freddie Sizemore back, and like we mentioned earlier, he probably would be more in the middle of the batting order. Home run, has power, ability to drive in runs. Phone ringing in the A's bullpen. Ron Romanek, permanently attached to his ear, I think, at times. Sometimes he sits very close to the phone, and it rings from the dugout, and Rick Breslow, who will never say no.
He hasn't yet this year.
He'll be asking for appearances the last couple of weeks. He'd like to lead the pitchers in most appearances.
One and one to Jamie Carroll. Carroll reached on a fielder's choice, fouled out, and walked. Hits it hard. Ellis on the backhand, flips to Pennington, who spins around, not in time. Sweet play by Mark Ellis and by Pennington.
Now, Mark kind of made the throw so he got enough on it, hoping that Pennington could, with his strong arm, complete the double play. Wasn't just one to flip back. He threw it hard. Pennington with the 360. It took Jamie Carroll with excellent speed to avoid being doubled up, and part of an amazing play by the Athletics. And it was bang, bang at that. But the spin and the open mouth saying, I got it.
Yes, I do.
Well, you never like to see Michael Jordan with the open mouth and the tongue, because you knew you're in trouble.
Yeah, he was going to score. Line drive by Cabrera, and that's going to be down into the left field corner. Carroll will to third, and he'll stop there. And as Drupal Cabrera has his second hit, this one's a double. Second and third, one out. So that 4 spot the A's dropped in the bottom of the 6 looks pretty good right now.
Number 17, Shin-Soo Choo.
So here's Chu. Breslow loosening up in the bullpen. 36 pitches thrown by Jerry Blevins. There's a strike to Chu. Driven to center. Davis going back. Fighting the sun just a little bit, but he's got it. Carroll will tag up. He will come in to score. Cabrera to third. Sacrifice fly for Chu. And that makes it 9-3.
Number 2, Johnny Peralta.
They call it a fair catch?
He's got it.
He's talking about the sun, and it's tough.
Yeah.
Started to put his right hand up, decided to take it down, didn't need it.
Peralta goes after the first pitch. He's got it. Side, retired. So a 39 pitch, 2-inning effort for Jerry Blevins. And it's 9-3 A's. He's handed out T-shirts, Andrew Bailey T-shirts. He got the American League Rookie of the Month award. Well deserved. The second inning was the inning for the A's. They would score 5 times. Well, they didn't hit a lot of balls hard. They got a couple breaks in an air, a hit by pitch, and when it was all said and done, the A's had scored 5 times. Rajay Davis had a clean single to right in that inning. So the A's have used the 5 spot in the second, and they ran with it. They lead 9-3 in the ball game. 3-7-1 for Cleveland, 9-11-0. A couple of big crooked numbers for the A's. 5 in the second, 4 in the sixth. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. Cust, Ellis, and Barton for the Athletics here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Jack Cust hits one high and foul. Cust is 1 for 3. He singled and scored in the second. Grounded out in the third, struck out in the 5th. It works, trust me. We can hear him. 3-1 now to Cust. So the A's had 16 hits in yesterday's game. They have 11 in today's game. For a long portion of the season, the A's were bottom 3 or 4 of the American League in run score, but they've moved up to 9th now. So statistically, they're showing lots of improvement offensively as Cust continues the hit parade. Second hit for him, 12th hit for the A's.
And a couple of top spin base hits for Jack Cust today. Both of them coming on 3-2 pitches. First one against Carmona, this one against Sip. And Jack Cust with a solid base hit. So headed for a pinch runner.
So Cust will have the rest of the day off.
Now batting second baseman, number 14, Mark Ellis.
So Patterson now at first, and here's Mark Ellis. Ellis takes a strike on the outside corner. Shallow right, Chu over and in, and he's got it.
He's doing the replay and talking about the second inning. 4 soft hits, 4 just kind of blooped in, including one in the air that was not caught by Crow.
Now batting first baseman.
So the saying goes, you take whatever you can get. Line drives in the paper tomorrow. This show will be 12 line drive hits at this point. He's hoping to hit just one more inning in the 8th, take the lead in the 9th, and take their 7th consecutive win.
Strike to Derek Barton. A's will get set to host the Texas Rangers for a 4-game series. Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, and Thursday day. The only other game going on in the American League is in Seattle, where the Mariners have a 7-1 lead over the Yankees in the 7th inning. That's the rubber game of that 3-game series. Barton gets jammed, but he flips it into right center field. That's a hit. Patterson read it well. He'll race to third. First and third, one out for the A's in the seventh. Derek Barton has his first hit.
There's a whole bunch of pitchers saying to the A's, hit it like a man, hit the ball hard. But every one of the hitters would be saying, take it any way you can get it. And Derek Barton pulled the hands in, so Barton today, sac fly, a walk, a base hit.
So Scott Hairston with an RBI chance. He's 2 for 3. Brantley coming in. He's got it. Patterson tags. The throw to the plate is cut off. And it looked like a pretty good throw, but Laporta cut it off. So a sacrifice fly for Hairston as Patterson scores. So Scott Hairston gets the RBI.
You know, in that case, as long as the ball is going to hit the cutoff man just let it go through. Because that's going to freeze the runner at first. Barton's not going to go. Tough time catching the ball because of the sun, but still a pretty strong throw at that point. Just let it go through and see if something might happen. The runner could always slip, fall, do something. The speed of Patterson, of course, might have also made that determination with the cutoff man.
So 10-3, A's lead. Pennington is 1 for 3. Scored a couple of runs, knocked in a run. Everybody in the A's lineup has at least one hit except for Kurt Suzuki. Three and one. John Malone up for the second time. Woo! Swing and a miss on 3-2. So Pennington strikes out for the second time. Another run for the A's on Scott Hairston's sacrifice fly. 10-3 after 7.
Texas Rangers, A's fans can meet A's star relief pitcher Brad Ziegler at the University of Phoenix Oakland campus, located at 1200 Clay Street in downtown Oakland. Brad will be signing autographs for 1 hour from noon to 1 p.m. Don't miss the exciting opportunity with the A's and your chance to see the new downtown Oakland campus. Brad Ziegler. Brad can text you and tell you exactly where to be. Brad does a lot of texting. It's amazing that you have to use your thumbs to text. Is that what you do?
Yeah.
Text a lot. He said at one time, I can't remember how many.
I don't want to text that much.
Oh.
New pitcher for the A's, it's John Malone, just called up from AAA Sacramento. It's been a very interesting season for John Malone.
Frequent flyer miles?
He's got him, baby. He's got some uniforms, too. Malone has pitched in 4 different organizations here in 2009. One of them being the Cleveland Indians. In fact, obviously you won't find him in the A's media guide, but you will find him in the Cleveland Indians media guide.
And I just wonder if Kurt Suzuki's walked out and said, "What do you throw?"
Tell me, please.
Because Suzuki will warm up the starting pitcher. He'll go down and catch him for 5-8 minutes or so. But as a reliever, it would be Casey Chavez or Landon Powell, Eric Munson, warming the guys up.
Remember when we were in Chicago and one of our thoughts was the thought of the day by the stat guy, because the stat guy in Chicago, he'd give us 3 stats and then one of his thoughts.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Did Frank Paul give us?
Well, we got a new one. We got our thought of the day from pregame, postgame show host FP Santangelo, who just handed us a note. FP, I got to thank you. Appreciate it. It says, Mayday Malone.
The thought of the day.
Yeah, so there's your FP Frank Paul pregame host, postgame host, thought of the day on Comcast Sportsnet California. Mayday Malone. In reference to, of course, Sam Malone from Cheers. So FP, we'd like to thank you for that. Thanks, buddy.
That's where that's from? Glad you told everybody.
He's prepping for the postgame show. There he is. There's the handsome man, Frank Paul Santangelo. Pride of Folsom, California.
In the post game, you cannot shoot him other than just head and shoulders. Nothing. That's it, because it's going to be blistering hot down there again.
Hafner fouls it back. So Mayday Malone on the mound.
Thought of the day.
Thought of the day. Maybe they're trying to tell us something, that we need a little help. I think we do okay, right? You and I?
Well, let's find out if Mr. Malone likes to be called Mayday.
Well, we're not the first one.
Maybe
I'm sure.
If we can have him as a post game as he's setting up down there, and when he comes by and say, "Come here, let's hop on the air."
Yeah, or you know what? I think FP could come out maybe tomorrow before his work in the studio, shoot over to the ballpark here, maybe tape an interview. Yeah, it's a good idea. Swing and a miss. Good spot for that fastball to Hafner. Just a little bit up and in, and John Malone gets the strikeout.
To be honest, I would call him Paul Bunyan.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
He is big. That fastball right by Pronk. So Mayday facing the Pronk. Travis Hafner.
Malone 6'3", 225 pounds, according to the media guy.
Wearing the pant legs up, showing all the stirrups, makes him seem even bigger.
He did pitch with the Indians last year. Briefly, 2 games for the Tribe. Matt Laporta is the hitter. Malone is 25 years old. Laporte is 1 for 3 in the ball game. Mark Ellis shading his eyes. And Mark's got it for the second out. So Trevor Crow will hit.
Number 26, Trevor Crow.
Crow is 1 for 3. He had an RBI triple in the 6th inning. So Crow with a couple of triples in this series. 3 RBIs. Crow actually started the year in the big leagues. Spent the first month with the Indians, but then in early May was sent back down to the minor league. Good curve by Malone.
First curveball he's thrown in. Not surprising that it was the hit of Crow, who was surprised to see. And swung at a bad pitch, but a good curveball to 12-6. That's a Burt Lyleman type spin on the curveball.
One-two to Crow. Fastball, swing and a miss, struck him out. Good inning by John Malone. A couple of strikeouts. Bottom of the 8th. Coming up, 10-3 A's. Adam Kennedy, certainly one of them. Kennedy a single, a double, a homer. He's knocked in 3. Adam Kennedy, one of the offensive stars in the ball game for the Athletics. The A's have 10 runs on 13 hits. Another left-hander into the game, Mike Gosling. So Gosling takes over here, bottom of the 8th inning. Tony Sipp goes an inning and a third. Gives up 3 hits and a run. Kennedy with his 3 hits today. The average up over 290, 292. Down the left field line and foul. Thirteenth appearance for Gosling, who played collegiately at Stanford. no swing, says the third base umpire, Mike Everett.
Gosling in the category of Craig Breslow. Stanford,
Yeah.
Breslow, Yale. Breslow, of course, the smartest man in baseball, the A's reliever. I was talking to Gosling this morning, and I said, are you one of the 29 with college degrees? He said, when that article came out, he was in the minor leagues, so he is one of the rare players pitching in Major or playing in Major League Baseball with a college degree.
So he got one.
29. As reported by...
What a play by Laporta, who flips to Gosling. Kennedy's attempt at his fourth hit is taken away by Laporta. Nice play.
Well, he's going for the hole, but Laporta, because he was not holding anybody on base, robs Adam Kennedy. Now, Kennedy flew out his first at bat, robbed by Laporta in his hopefully last at bat, but 3 hits, 3 big ones in between.
Strike to Rajay Davis.
Our buddy Vince Petronio yesterday was excited because, and I'm sure today, as he was looking at Kennedy, a triple away from a cycle.
Yeah.
Yesterday, it was Suzuki. He was a triple away from a cycle. He's getting pumped.
Gosling, once he juggled it, forget it. Rajay Davis is aboard. They're going to give Gosling an air.
Well, panic sets in, there's no doubt. Once you know who the hitter is, the speed, and you bobble it. Backed up and missed it, and there's the panic. Just try to flip it, and there's just no way. Too much speed, Rajay Davis. It's not a hit, but it doesn't matter with Rajay. He's going to hustle anyway.
So Davis is aboard. Third time he's been on base in the afternoon. Couple of hits and now the air. Laporta playing behind Davis. Ryan Sweeney has a pair of RBIs today. He's 1 for 4. So 51 RBIs now for Sweeney. And Sweeney's going to have a base hit. Slices one to left field. 14 hits now for the A's. All right, Sweeney's had a nice second half to the season, hasn't he, Ray?
He has, and especially this type of hitting. I mean, you could be critical if you want to, but please don't, because he doesn't pull a lot of balls for home runs. He has 6. But nobody in baseball is going to be critical of a player who goes and hits the pitch and goes the opposite field as well as Ryan Sweeney does. His 310 since the break, 29 runs about it is, because he has used the whole field. He's used left field, left center. And yes, he has the power to hit home runs, but if he changes his approach and tries to pull pitches, he'll be rolling over on the pitch that he just hit and hit a ground ball and maybe a double play.
Well, again, another thing to look ahead to the 2010 season is look at the second half that Ryan Sweeney is in. So Kurt Suzuki trying to join the hit parade. He's 0 for 3.
You just have to wonder, getting hit on the right elbow in his first at bat in the second inning to start off the 5-run inning, how much that has affected him. He would never say anything, but you get hit in the elbow as squarely as he did. He's got to feel it.
Suzuki out in front of that one. It was his, watch his back elbow, the right elbow. The pitch is actually behind him.
And if he tucks his elbow in towards, just naturally as he had tried to avoid being hit, ran right into it.
So 0-2 to Kurt. Gosling a big curveball, and Suzuki swings and misses. So Kurt is the second out.
curveball. He just cannot hold up, and he threw it hard.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen, for the Athletics.
So Matt Carson's going to get an at-bat.
25, Matt Carson.
This is the spot where Jack Cust was, but then Eric Patterson pinch ran for Cust. That was in the 7th inning. So Carson will hit here in the 8th. The day after picking up his first major league hit. He hits one high, deep into the right field corner, foul territory, and Chu runs out. Single to right field in the 5th inning yesterday for Carlson. His first major league hit. That one hit hard but foul off the tarp. So I would think, Ray, when we fly to Anaheim on Thursday after the day game, it's a pretty crowded plane, wouldn't it? There's a lot of extra guys.
Yeah, very crowded, and I know Mickey will make sure everything's fine.
Oh, yeah. That will not be a problem. Henry Rodriguez starts to throw. In the dirt, and it bounced off something, and it ended up going back to the pitcher. Well, you see something every day.
We see a shortstop abandon his outfielder, and then we see a ball carry him all the way back to the pitcher. I mean, it's like a ball hitting the backstop signing. It hit off the shoulder of the catcher, and he doesn't know where it is, but Gosling said, "No, don't worry, I got it." So that's two things we've seen today.
Fastball is inside to Carson. Broken bat, left center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Rajai Davis will come in to score. Matt Carson has an RBI single, and it's 11-3.
And 2 hits yesterday, 1 hit today, his first major league run batted in, and congratulations to Matt. He'll take it. Another 2-out hit, 2 strikes, and he comes through. Strong young man. Great to see him get an opportunity to play. And sometimes we get to see a strong arm, too. He's a very talented player.
So Mark Ellis gets his 5th at bat today. Two more hits for the A's in this inning. An error. And the air was just a little ground ball back to Gosling that he could not handle on Rajai Davis. Pop up left side. Peralta, the third baseman, has it. Side retired. Another run for the A's. So we're headed to the 9th inning. It's the A's 11 and the Indians 3. responsibly. We've reached the 9th inning. The A's looking for their 7th consecutive win, and they're in pretty good shape with an 11-3 lead over the Indians. John Malone had a nice 8th inning. 3 up, 3 down with a couple of strikeouts. Facing Wyatt Torragas. 2-0 to Torragas. He'll be followed by Brantley and then Carroll. Pop-up foul. Make sure you join us tomorrow night. 6:30 A's pregame live, and then the ball game at 7 o'clock. It'll be the A's and the Texas Rangers. Edgar Gonzalez and Kevin Millwood. So Kevin Millwood has not pitched in a while, so he's going to get the start tomorrow for Texas.
Big night for him too. 13 outs.
Financially a big night for Kevin Millwood. So if he gets 13 outs, his $12 million option for next year kicks in. Is that right?
Exactly.
So he'll be scorecard watching.
Considering there will be 2 weeks left in the season, so there's a pretty good chance he'll get 13 out somewhere.
Well, and he should. Millwood just got off to a great start, but has not pitched well as of late.
Number 23, Michael Brantley.
The Rangers will come in 7.5 games out of first place and 8 games out of the wild card picture, so they're in big trouble.
And as much as the A's like Ron Washington, a good friend, 11 years here, they'd still like to do nothing better than to continue what they did in Arlington earlier in the week when they swept in the 3-game series.
One 1-0 to Brantley.
More than anything, the A's selfishly would just like to continue the run they've been on. Close this one out, 7 consecutive wins.
There's a strike to Brantley. I think we will have the first 3 games of that series between the A's and the Rangers on Comcast Sportsnet California. The Thursday game is a day game, and that will be radio only. And the A's will head to Anaheim for the final road trip of the year. 3 in Anaheim, 3 in Seattle, and the final weekend of this season will be at home against the Angels. Brantley fouls back the 3-2 pitch.
Somebody at the plaza level make a catch. Looked like they did.
We've seen some good ones today.
Boy, in the front row.
Another foul ball by Michael Brantley near the same spot.
The young man who caught the one, it just hit the facade right in front of him.
He was ready too. Hit the facade and bounced downstairs.
He's on the edge of his seat saying, hit me another. I'm ready. Put me in, coach.
That's a good foul ball spot. Little dribbler out in front of the plate. Suzuki has to hurry, throws high, and it goes down toward the Indians' bullpen. It bounces into the seats. Or it did not bounce into the seats.
Well, it did, but they're not calling it that way.
Well, it sure looked like it did.
Yep.
The run comes all the way around to score. The runner does. Brantley to third. I thought for sure that it bounced into the seats and then back out, but
I think it did too, to be honest, because first base umpire Jerry Davis did not move very far down. Now he's going to call Bob Guerin down.
So it's a single and an error is the ruling.
And if it goes in the seats, it's a dead ball. Zook, great play, great the speed, and just threw it too high. But if we can follow the ball down into the corner, and then umpires are going to talk about it. But
this should tell us right here.
Went high.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
It bounced over and then came back.
Plus a fan may have touched it as well.
Yeah, the fan's upset. But it bounced over that little signage.
Well, let me ask this though, Ray. There is a fence
behind it, yeah.
Behind the sign, which has a little porch on top.
Good point, yeah.
So maybe that is in play.
You got to call him back.
Well, okay.
But the question is, did the fan hit it? The fan was upset, and if he touched it,
I mean,
let's see. Okay, so
there's the little porch, and there's a fence right above that, about maybe 12 to 15 inches high.
You know, I bet that part, because that is the only area where there's a fence over that signage. Or is it? No, that goes all the way along. So this is fan interference.
Okay. So they're saying,
I wouldn't be proud of that, young man, because you may find yourself walking out of the stadium. Francisco season, Renetti.
General Renetti will go down there, and it will not be pretty.
So it'll be single E2.
Single E2, and then the fan interference has runners at second and third. Andy Marte is the pinch hitter. Marte, wearing number 25, he's hitting for Jamie Carroll.
Craig Breslow gets credit for appearances, up 3 times the bullpen.
Is he up again?
He's up again. That constitutes an appearance. As he has been up. He's up twice when Levens was pitching.
So John Malone facing Andy Marte. Swing and a miss. An error by Suzuki, just the second error in the series for the Athletics. And a close pitch. Put off the plate, according to pitch facts. 2-2 the count. Swing and a miss. Dave with the fastball, and Marte strikes out. First out here in the ninth.
It's Powder River fastball, low 90s. Malone throwing about a 93-mile-an-hour fastball and kept to the outside part of the plate.
Number 13, Osderbro.
Marte was going to try to hit one
Cabrera.
in the seats. He wasn't up for a little base hit.
So here's Asdrubal Cabrera. Cabrera is 2 for 4 with a single and a double in the game. A's have out-hit the Indians 15-8. Cabrera right to the screen. So the A's now 45 hits in this series. 26 runs. One and one to Cabrera. Curve bounced toward first. Run will come in to score as Barton steps on the bag. So that makes it an 11-4 game. Gives Cabrera his 64th RBI. And 2 outs now on the ball in the ninth.
Now batting.
4 runs for the Indians today, and all 4 result of a walk. As Chu walked in the 4th, he scored. Peralta in the 6th. It was Carroll in the 7th, and catcher in the 9th. So I mean, it's the walks in very rare. At least you hope that if you give up a walk, they don't score. But in this case, they've done that today.
Chu takes the ball in the dirt. 1-1 the count. Chu is 0 for 2 with a walk and a sacrifice fly in the ball game. One runs inside. So Dana Evelyn went 5. Jerry Blevins the 6th and the 7th. John Malone the 8th, and he's trying to finish it off here in the 9th. Three and 1. Johnny Peralta would be next if Chu can get aboard.
Blevins 39 pitches in relief for 2 innings. Malone ready to make pitch number 41.
And there's a high strike call to make it a full count at 3-2 with 2 outs. So the crowd today, 15,430. And just a gorgeous afternoon. Watch the Rays play a good game today and a great weekend of baseball. Popped up. Kennedy racing over, and he's not going to be able to get there. Drops right in front of the A's dugout.
Andrew Bailey T-shirt day, so a lot of happy folks to get a T-shirt and wear it proudly in hopes that come November, when the votes come out for the Rookie of the Year, along with the other votes, that next year this time or early in the season, they'll say, can you sign my T-shirt that I got last September the 20th? But sign it, Andrew Bailey, ROY 09, Rookie of the Year.
This one looks like it is going to be playable. Kennedy fighting the sun. He's got it. That's the ball game. So the final score this afternoon, the A's 11 and the Indians 4, and that completes the 4-game sweep for the A's, and they just continue to play great baseball. The A's have now won